Hello YouTube, EasyGoingMC back with another Redstone video. Today we're taking a look at a slime farm I recently designed just a few hours ago in Minecraft 1.13.1. I believe this would work in Minecraft 1.13, but I have not tested that, so let's just call it a Minecraft 1.13.1 farm. So this farm works with a single layer, perfect perimeter conditions, in a slime chunk of course, and this will give you about 25,000 an hour. This is based off a preliminary test. If this number is vastly different than what you found in the title screen, go off what the title screen says. I still have one more test to do after I fix the small bug that could potentially impact the rates significantly, but I don't think it was, I'm pretty sure it was minuscule. But yeah, let's get into how this farm works. I'll explain why it's one layer down at the very, very bottom of the world. So this farm layer, just to get into it, let's talk about that first. So this farm layer is at the very, very bottom. You cannot place blocks below. It is at y=0. And the reasoning for that is the new mob spawning mechanics. So first, before we get into what's new, let's get into what was old. If we take a look at this, this is a subchunk. Every blue line is a new subchunk. And mob spawning used to be calculated by subchunk. It's sort of a tongue twister. So every subchunk you went up with more solid blocks, mob spawning would get slower and slower. So yeah, it'd be more efficient to have like 4 layers in one subchunk versus 6 layers in 2 subchunks to make sense. So its efficiency was exponentially decreased per layer basically. So that's why older slime farms, you usually saw them contained within a couple of subchunks, just up to like y=32. However, this all changed in Minecraft 1.13 because spawning is calculated in the same way except by block. So the spawning rate of here is going to be significantly lower than the spawning rate of down here. So that is why the spawning layer is built down here. It is much, much faster than a spawning layer, even at y=4, even at the base level of Bedrock. I'm going to link a video from ilmango explaining that much better than I did and much more in depth, along with a couple other key changes I think you should know down in the description. So I make sure to check that out. Also, if you want to see another farm that sort of exploits this new mechanic, I highly recommend checking out DocM's Enderman farm. I also link that down in the description. That's basically has like a 5x5 platform or something like that, and it spawns enough Endermen similar to what old farms did. So it's super simple. All right, so let's get into the next step of how this farm works. So they're attracted to the iron golems, up this water elevator, sort of pushed to the side onto the magma. It would then be collected through this. This is not working because there's no chest connected to it. Don't worry, that's easily fixed. It's a simple minecart unloading system. None of the other ones have minecarts at the moment, just for lag reasons and also for testing reasons later on. It doesn't really matter. But to put this in perspective on how many rates this will get you, as I said, about 25,000. This was with a bug in this system. This was a half hour of AFKing. So a really extraordinary amount. It might not be 25,000. I realize I might have just done my math wrong. I think it will end up about that. So whatever's in the title, it might be a little less, might be a little more. But yeah, just keep that in mind going forward. Alright, so let me sort of also explain something with this farm if I ever do release a world download. This was built in one of ilmango's worlds. So this is not ilmango's design. I did not take this from him. He might have thought of the same thing. He might release a video the same day I do featuring a very similar design. However, the reason why I used his old world was because I couldn't really find a good place where I had an open perimeter condition with an easy access to a slime chunk at Bedrock. I tried a void world. This is super flat, but I couldn't find a slime chunk. The slime chunk base wasn't really working well. So I just went with this, tore down his entire farm, and built my own. So I did not steal his design. This was my own. Someone might have thought of this before me. Someone might release a video the same day as I did. I came up with this 100% on my own. That's just how it goes with this sometimes. So if you ever look at the world download, it says ilmango slime farm in the little descriptor of the world. It is not ilmango slime farm. I'm going to find a way to get rid of that because I just used his world. But nevertheless, I just wanted to let you know in case that was ever brought up. I'll also link that video because that's still an excellent farm that still works in 1.13 down in the description as well. So that's basically it. The rates, once again, around 25,000 or whatever is said in the title screen. I think it actually might be a little less. But even still, I don't think No, maybe like I think it's going to be about 25,000 thinking about it. I think I did my math a little wrong when I was looking through those double chests. That second one I thought was full and it wasn't, but I think that's about how much I lost in the half, like in the little bit that I lost, because that was about a half hour. That's how much my test was. Not exact, I know, but it's good enough for the purpose of this video. Before I go, however, I'd like to talk about 2 ways to improve this farm. If you're going to actually take the time to break all this bedrock, I'd suggest extending the water elevator all the way around the iron golems. I have not tested this. I'm sure this will improve rates, because as you can see, these bigger slimes, they do sort of get stuck on the edge if you look. Sometimes they go directly in, but other times, as you saw, let's see, this one right here gets stuck on the edge. That's time where it's being wasted in the mob cap. It could just go directly, also if a mob spawned here, directly into the water elevator. Second, the killing system could be a little quicker. They do get kind of caught up here. I couldn't really figure out how to get the water just to push them into this too well. I don't know why it didn't work, but it didn't. They eventually get corralled into there and pushed in by each other, but that could be, once again, a little bit faster. So there's a couple improvements that this farm could be made to be made even faster. However, I think for the purpose of this showcase, I get the point across. This new mob spawning mechanics, although are pretty bad, they allow for pretty fast rates if you manage to break all that bedrock and just transport the mobs up to a killing system, because it'd be pretty hard to get a killing system in under 1 block and a collection system as well. But to conclude my blabbering, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, and also don't forget to subscribe. Other than that, I hope you have an easygoing day, and I'll catch you guys all later. Bye-bye.